Okay, all right, Mr. Chiu.
Okay, broadcast. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's webinar titled Enhancing Industrial Relations Through Competitive Compensation System, to be presented by Professor Dr. Balakrishnan. Today's seminar will run from for about 2 hours, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. I think we have about 200 plus registrations, which reflect the popularity and the currency of the current topic, especially in these new normal times of global pandemic. I also understand that there are quite a number of students and PhD students of Professor Balakrishnan who will be joining soon. So these are the future leaders of the country, and we look forward to their contributions in the future. After this short introduction, MPC will play a short video clip on eSPO. Then after that, I will then introduce Professor Balakrishnan, who will then proceed with his presentation, which is about an hour. After Professor's presentation, there will be a Q&A session. Participants, you can enter your questions to the panelists in the chat box, and the MPC staff will help me to curate and consolidate the questions. Okay, so with this, okay, let's begin with the eSPO video clip. But before we do that, I'll do a quick brief introduction of eSPO. eSPO is an online system that issues electronic acknowledgement certificate to the organization that has successfully implemented the productivity linked wage system, which is a program championed by MPC. So PLWS is a flexible wage system that reflects mutual benefit, in which incentives are distributed according to the performance or productivity of employees and empowers them respectively. So it is an effective sharing method to create a dynamic prosperity towards organizational competitiveness. With that, let's watch the video. Do you know there are 100,000 organizations in Malaysia who are classified as a shared prosperity organization? Is your organization one? As a shared prosperity organization, or with Malaysia Shared Property Business Welfare, identify and recognize shared prosperity organizations. Prosperity organizations and open a balance of the government recognizes welfare and sharing out with the other plans. Here are a few simple steps to check whether your organization qualifies. Okay, so that was a short introduction of the eSPO. Next, I have the pleasure to introduce our speaker for today, Professor Dr. Balakrishnan Parasuraman. Professor Dr. Balakrishnan is the professor of HRM and IR at the Faculty of Entrepreneurship and Business, University of Malaysia, Kelantan, UMK. Professor has more than 23 years of vast experience in academia, having served 17 years in University Malaysia, Sabah, and 6 in University Malaysia, Kelantan. He's also a very prolific author, having authored about 18 books and more than 200 journals, articles published in reference journal. Professor Dr. Balakrishnan is also a regular invitee as panel expert on radio and TV talk shows on the subject of entrepreneurship, business, HR, and industrial relations. He's also a recipient of various research grants from various international organizations such as the ILO, World Bank, European Exchange Fellowship, and is instrumental in securing more than $1 million ringgit worth of grants for UMK. He also has been a visiting research fellow of University of Groningen, Holland, and visiting professor of the University of Indonesia and a visiting research fellow of the University of Wollongong, Australia. Professor Dr. Balakrishnan has also chaired the Workers' Participation Study Group, International Employment Relations Association of the ILO in Geneva. He is in the technical committee of the National Consultative Wage Council of the Ministry of Human Resources. So today we are living in the new normal created by the COVID-19 global pandemic. This major environmental tsunami has created new challenges in the area of employment for both the employees and the employers. So survivability is the focus now for both the employers and employee. Unemployment has skyrocketed and they're expected to continue to increase with the advent of the second and the third wave of infection and extended lockdowns. Relief from vaccination is in the horizon, but safety and effectiveness and distribution concerns add to the recovery uncertainty. Operational costs too have increased significantly for employers due to additional measures to provide a safe working environment and the lower turnover and shorter working hours. The new normal requires all hands on deck and collaborative approach between the employers and employees to achieve a win-win situation. I, together with today's attendees, eagerly awaits Professor Dr. Balakrishnan to shed some light on possible paths and approaches on how to enhance industrial relations through a competitive compensation system under such trying times. Professor, over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chiu, for the brief introduction about me and also the theme for the webinar for today morning. Okay, very good morning to everyone outside there, including the practitioners, industry, government official, students, also from some students, I think they're joining from University of Malaysia Sabah and UMK, and also others who are interested. And I would like to thanks to MPC, especially to Mr. Sugu, for and all the staff from MPC, and also Mr. Chu will be the moderator for this morning. I'm very glad to be revisited from my university. You can see in the picture that's my campus. Of course, the campus divided by 3 campus. Little bit, just 1 minute introduction. So we are divided by Jeli, Bacho, and PC. Now I'm the PC campus. I'm from the Pengkalan Cepa. It's just about 2 minutes or 3 minutes from airport. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so some of my work we have done on the. I start my career as a IR, expert, industrial relation. I went through the process of my education from abroad, from United Kingdom, and also from Australia. And I've been traveled all over the world, especially to learn and also presenting on my research, and also from all over the world. I've been traveled from North America, South America, and in East China, and so on. So the one common, I think IR is the same everywhere. Whenever there's a human with the title of employer, employees, and of course that's called industrial relation. And I found that there's a mutual understanding between these countries. Throughout my 25 years experience on this, I found that IR is become very important in the workplace, especially now, in together with the HR. So what I'm trying to say that HR and IR must go hand by hand. Okay. So my work already published, and also we won some medal. You can see that I developed a software for the Union Management Partnership. We won some of the medal in Geneva, and also from the national competition. So meaning to say, industry people accepted this idea where the partnership between union management and employees is very, very important. Next slide, please. Okay, so we are still in pandemic now. I think most of you be alert that we are PKP. Everybody now stay home, stay safe. There's no choice. We don't know when the pandemic will over, all depending on the time, and we see how this thing will happen. But of course, everybody went through the process almost 1 year. As Mr. Chu already explained before, the pandemic actually brought us to the negative and positive element in our life. So everybody went through the in pandemic. You had to learn some of the things that we already missed in the past, and of course this lesson especially for employer and employees, especially, and also government would look after third party to look after this relationship. So we went through a lot of pandemic and economic crisis and so on. You can see that I highlighted few, but the worst research show that is actually COVID-19 pandemic, and this is even worse than Great Lockdown, worst economic downturn since Great Depression in 1930s. So you can see that we went through a different era, different experience, and we finally managed. So COVID is actually one of the greatest challenges, especially for employee and employer, and also those people who are in the industry now. It's not that easy, but of course we go through. You see the case I recorded yesterday, the numbers are almost 97 million cases recorded, and even more than 1 million people will die. So that's how serious it is. Okay, next one, please. Sakina, next slide. Okay, so the next slide, next one. Okay, next slide. I just bring some of the multiple impacts. Actually, last 1 year, a lot of research had been done. Recently, I heard from the Latin America. I got my friend, Professor Marta. She's a leading scholar in IR in Latin America. They come out with one book written about the impact of COVID-19 on the Latin American country. They're going to share later. Probably I will invite all of you to join our webinar later. We're going to run the webinar with the Latin American 10 countries going to share how they manage this. So the worst actually look at the many impact. So one of the social impact, economic impact is actually human resource and industrial relation. So badly affected in many organizations. And today the HR managers struggling to what to do. Are we going to retrench people? Are we going to keep them in the workplace? What is going to be there? And there are a lot of questions in their mind, and they should have right advice to the CEO and the owner of the company. So that is, I think, the impact of COVID-19. Next one, please. Next slide. All right. So this is a scenario. I just looking through scenario. This is a issue during the pandemic, which I went through from the literature review and some of the past studies. So a lot of people like talking about minimum wage, industry harmony, tripartite, safety, pay cut, you know, the role of trade union currently after the pandemic, and of course, status of the labor law in many countries around the world due to the COVID-19, including Malaysia. Recently, we also discussed about foreign workers, how to implement certain law to combat the COVID-19, and a lot of issue and international migration, you know. So all these undocumented issue all come in the one big, you know, like one fruits, under the big fruits, you know. Then we have to tackle all these issue on the umbrella of IR and HR. So the HR people actually looking at how to you know, to combat this pandemic and how we go about continually move this business. Next slide, please. So I'm just going through some of the issues. Then you can see that we are coming to the 2.0, 3.0, where the government come up with the wage subsidy. I think many countries done that. Malaysia continues this year also because we are locked down until I heard many states already postponed to the continue until 4th February. Yeah, meaning to say we don't know what is going to happen, and then many industry was affected, especially micro and SME. But the government tried the best. But the most important thing that how we want to do that. So one of the issue, like we're looking at the revision of labor law, and I think I put in the yellow color there, PLWS. That was my always I was promoting PLWS for a long time ago. Even I was UMS in 20 years ago. I bring a lot of experts to come and discuss workshop and so on. So PLWS, I think, is a timely to MPC. We like to thanks to MPC and Ministry of Human Resource, where they are working very hard to promote PLWS. Later part, I will share you. There are some initiative already done by MPC, yeah, by the end of my session. But anyway, I think this is very important during the pandemic, COVID-19. Okay, next slide. All right, and then of course trade union and the government. You can see government play a very important role now. You can see every time in the press or social media and so on. They are trying to bring industrial harmony in the workplace, because we need a peaceful place to work. We don't want any stressful situation, especially a pandemic. People like living in the situation where tomorrow I don't know whether I get a job, or today I'll be stacking all this. So we as a practitioner, we are like in HR, you know, in a government policy, and we need to think about our people and so on. So this pandemic actually giving us the lesson to restructure or rethink about our IR and HR in the future. Okay, next slide, please. All right, so you can see the top issues. One of the issue there, I highlighted here 4 top issues. One is the productivity and work. That's what our topic today, enhancing industrial relation through the compensation system. So meaning to say today, employee and also employer always think about productivity and work. So that's another issue that we have to consider during the pandemic. Okay, next. Next slide. Okay. So, all right. Today I'm not teaching all of you. Most of you know about definition, but in the context of Malaysia, when I go through my past engagement with the industry, when I've researched with them, you know, all these people, many people in this part of the world think that IR is actually a labor law. That's what the connotation was there. Actually, no, IR is beyond that. So, okay, today, many people think that the theory is not important. Actually, very important. The theory actually important to how to apply in the industry. So in the last 20 years, what I did actually, I brought the industry people to the campus together with my student, and I bring my own, theoretical framework, and we work together. So basically, you look at many countries, actually, IR has become very, very important. Actually, IR started in 1980s by Professor Webb and Dunlop and Alan Fox. All these people actually come out with theory from the empirical studies. The theory won't come like that, you know. Then nobody will create theory like surface like that. No, they have to go through the process. The theory go to the process with empirical studies, empirical research, and after that you come back again, like you do the lab, testing. When you do test something like COVID-19, you brought the virus, go to the lab, after the lab, and come out. Then you find a solution and vaccine when coming. The vaccine is a theory actually. So many industry practitioners think that, oh, theory is not important. Actually, today you look at the definition here very clearly that IR actually beyond the labor law. Actually, labor law. Labor law only small component in IR. Right? So industrial relation actually they talk about the relationship between employer and employees, and of course the employee we talk about trade union, and this relationship governed by law, and the law was normally developed by government. In this context, Ministry of Human Resources. So you can see the trend that happening in the industry, and looking at the theory and so on, I think is very much true. In 1958, Professor Dunlop already come out with the theory system, and he was a senator also in the one of the Ministry of Labor during those days in 1950s in US government. He come out that there are many factors actually impacted IR. One of them he said about economy and social impact. And truly enough, today pandemic already affected. So his theory is still alive. It's alive until now. And also you look at the theory by Alan Fox, Professor Alan Fox, and some other gurus. They are also defining the IR, which is already happening many years back, but it's thing come back again and again. So it's actually we try to bring industry harmony. That's what IR about. IR is very important component part in the workplace, where HR people must think the IR component actually is the best way for them to solve the problem when the arise conflict is on. Next slide, please. All right, so what is the objective? Very clear. IR objective is a positive interaction, two-way intensity. Today you can see in the even my study, PhD, I come out with a book on employee participation in theory and practice. So I found that I use the theory of IR and HR, and I found that there will be no two-way communication. Just for the panelists, I mean, just for the audience here, I just like to mention about Malaysia. Malaysia, the trade union only was 7%. 93% is a non-union sector. It's okay, fine. For me, it's okay. Union, non-union, it doesn't matter, because when unions start up, they are formed the union in the workplace. They are actually working towards the betterment of the work welfare and so on. But suddenly, the influence by IR, influence by the economy perspective and all the crises and so on. So the company go beyond non-union. It's okay. But the problem is in that there's a big vacuum. 93% of employees, there's no place to speak up. So one of my PhD students, she's an HR expert in the industry. I'll ask her to do research how this NER, non-union representation, you create a vacuum for them to talk and discuss. Currently, we only have safety committees. Safety committees only very safety based. There's no, so that is a big. So I think with the PLWS, with implementation PLWS, which I think proposed, was promoted by MPC and also Ministry of Human Resources. I believe PLWS can replace this relationship. So whether there's a union, non-union, but there's a place for them to talk. And company, of course, productivity very happy. And you can see workers must happy, employer must happy. That is a connotation dalam pandemic. And during the pandemic 90, everybody must happy. That's why when before I start, I told Mr. Chu and our Ms. Sakina, we need to smile and enjoy your life. Otherwise, what is the meaning? During the pandemic, we put ourselves stress. No, don't stress. Things will change. We went through what? I told you what, Asian crisis. We are in the bad Asian crisis. We went through, Malaysia went through. So why worry about that? Keep on working, keep on do something for the needs. So, and then that's why I said workers' welfare also very important. Possible to the achievement of productivity. Yes, we need a higher productivity. At the same time, we're also looking at the welfare and the workers' basic needs, to be. That's why I was so happy glad that minimum wage come in the pause. And now at least people B40 group, they are B40 group feel happy with that. Okay, next one, please. Next slide. Okay, so this is basically the model created by Canadian IR a few years back in 1969, but still relevant. That's why some theory is a grand theory, still relevant, although in 1970s, the problem, you look at the factors here. So now we are in the social factors and economy and ecological factors. And of course, these factors, actually, we talk about pandemic now. Pandemic actually across the factors, political instability, social problem, the disease go on and on. Economically, we're not strong. We don't know how the business going on. We close down some of the shop. Export import actually temporarily shut down. Airline business completely, like it doesn't work at the moment. Tourists cannot come to another place. Domestic also movement not there. So all this impact, we pain. We understand. We are pain institution. But what can we do? Business must keep on going. Example, I give you a key example. My teaching and learning, that is my core business. I cannot stop. I can keep on going. So I managed to do my online visual learning exactly like face-to-face. The student happy. The student what we do like farewell party, everything. Why we cannot do this in the workplace? Why we cannot have a farewell party with the employees? By online, yes, can be happen. Why not? This is time like employer. Okay, treat your employees well. I mean, you just buy a little bit food, whatever. Make them happy, keep on going. But these people will loyal to you. Pandemic actually creating industry harmony and loyal. So the outcome is there. You can see the outcome there. Of course, today we are not looking at the strike. You saw Malaysian workers are so nice. They don't have a very serious problem on the workers' right. And we are not like that. We are very supportive, very loyal to the country, to the king, and to them. So, but we need a very stability on the political environment, so then we take care of our people. I always tell my students, we love Malaysia. We are Malaysian. We should love Malaysia. We have to bring Malaysia to the next level. Be proud to be Malaysian. At least we know what we do. So it starts from the workplace at the organization level. So that's what I believe on that. Next, please. Next slide. All right, so come back to the theory. I think many people don't know what is IR. IR is actually looking at three or four perspectives. One perspective, I think it's already happening in the workplace. I'm not saying that, oh, this theory is already happened. So unitarism is actually related to HRM today. So maybe they are not much concerned about trade union involvement in the workplace, but they are much more unitarism. They only one goal. They want to create income. They want to create profit. They want to create. But at the same time, creating all these, we need a high productivity, but you have to compensate. That's what the PLWS. PLWS is actually compensation to bring back to the employees. So I work very hard. I need to compensate. So far, I'm very happy to work in both university, UMK and Yuen. I'm working for long years. Although I went through turmoil in 2014, a big flood coming like a pandemic. We are still here until I'm coming to the 8 years, coming to the 9 years already. Loyalty must be there. You need to work very hard. So they compensate also. They compensate for me, promotion and so on. So the feeling is there, So that's how the employee must think. When you work hard, you compensate with that. So then I think there are a few people here, Macro, Elton Mayo, Freddie Taylor, all these people come up with the human relation, scientific management. So you can see they are in the branch out. They got human resource, IR, employment relation, organized behavior. And many people do study differently. So very easy to understanding. OB is a more individual relationship. IR is a more macro relationship. Employee and HR is managing the people with a proper policy and so on to tackle and also relate to the performance of the company, especially business performance. That's what HR is doing. Okay, next. That's unitarism perspective. Okay, I keep on telling for Malaysia, we need a pluralist perspective. I already come up with this theory after 25 years. I propose for the pluralist. Actually, we have differences. Yes, employee have different to make better salary, better welfare, and so on. But we coming to the employer, they want a better productivity. They want so you need to balance. We don't have a unitarism per se, but we must bring the pluralist approach. And so Professor Adam Fox, Clark, and Alan Flanders, they do the very intense research in Oxford, in London School of Economics those days, and they come up with this approach in IR. So it's actually happening now. You see some of the company now are moving towards a partnership between union and management. I keep on seeing the social media, LinkedIn, Facebook also. Some of the union are coming back to the sit down and discuss with, especially pandemic. Pandemic, we must understand each other. That's what the pluralist approach. Next one. Looking at another approach, I think it's not suitable to Malaysia. This group of the radical approach, and they, I think, only rights of the employees. They think, employee must be taken care and they have the superpower and so on. That's why you see many countries in the beginning, in those European countries, Australia, Canada, the Labour Party is very strong, but today no. So I think this radical approach is not very suitable to Malaysia because we are still underdeveloping. We are not declared. Even this year, supposed to declare 2020 when I was higher university at that time. I was so happy by 2020 our country will be fully developed. But again, because of some limitation, all this, so we are continue, and that's why we come up with the prosperity. For next 2030, we extend another 10 years. But it's okay. Whatever thing we do, but radical approach is not very suitable for here. But of course, they are talking about to bring to fill up the gap, the gap in the vacuum. There's a vacuum in the workplace. They create something like I'm giving example like Labor Management Council, Joint Consultative Committees, and so on. This kind of already established in Philippines, in America. They're doing very well. So I will advise the industry people to think about that outside the box. Create a innovative creativity on designing the HR to tackle this problem. So I believe out of three theories, pluralist is a much appropriate to our country. Next slide, please. All right, so Professor Sharma, I think 1985, he come up with this model in Asia. You can see that finally he started from the paternalistic in the early stage, 1960s, 70s, and political movement. You know, IR is more on the political movement. You know, some of the countries I think formed the Labour government, Labour Party, and formed the government. Like you can see in United Kingdom, for many years, you know, in Australia is under Labour. But the Labour government, of course, it connect to the trade union movement. And now I was there in 1987 during the election time. I see the Tony Blair won a big, you know, in numbers of the majority in the voting because employees supported him very well. And what today is going to, so today the world after pandemic, economic crisis, and I see we are going to the cooperative now. So I really advise to the union outside there, change your mindset, think about how to work together, how to working relationship with your employer. The employer having limitation. I keep on telling, employer also having a lot of tough time. But at the same time, the employer also should think about how to bring this on the board. We are in the one plane, you know. So the pilot is actually the CEO of the company, and HR people supporting the CEO, and the passenger, all the employees. So we need to fly peacefully. We don't have any turbulence. Of course, there's a turbulence, but we have to save our people. Turbulence always there. Pandemic, Asian crisis, there will be conflict. Because human is a human. We are human. Human with a feeling. Today we are happy. Tomorrow we are not happy. We cannot be all the time like that. We keep on changing. So I see this in my own eyes in my research, because I did my doctorate in qualitative research. I see the cry. People cry in front of me. The employee cry. There's one case, one employee cried to me, saying that nobody talking to me. Sir, you're the only talking to me. I really appreciate. I said, yeah, that's the feeling people have. So we are moving to the cooperative. That's what Professor Sharma was, you know, proposing this theory in 1985. Finally, we are moving to that. Okay, that's important of our theory. Yeah, how to imply to the real practice. Okay, next one, please. Okay, so this is basically the finding of the research. So you can see Malaysia, we are still in the moderate, medium size. So that's how the research. Okay, next one. Next slide. All right. So after we listening to the definition, various perspective, various theory, various approach, various framework about IR, and I hope this audience here, whether you are industry players or from government official or student, you already have a clear picture on IR. What is IR? Is very simple word. The relationship between employer and employees or trade union, with governed by the government. The government got a policy, government got a law and everything to make sure that the relationship go very smoothly, harmonious. Because we got Industrial Relation Act, we got Trade Union Act, we got Employment Relation Act, we got Sabah Ordinance, Labor Act, Sarawak Labor Ordinance. All act is wonderful created. Safety, OSHA, everything there. The only problem now, how to go about it. So after the pandemic, the question start. I'm keep asking. Minimum wage already in place for 11 years. We know that already there in place. What is the meaning minimum wage if you not come with the productivity? Of course, I believe employer and employees must think this positively. So minimum wage only the minimum payment. Now you stop there, you know. To move on, of course, we have to use PLWS. So you can see the businessman and the workforce have a different entity. Yes, that's what I am. So businessmen want to reduce the cost. For workers, they want to hire better working. That's a normal, you know. But when we put in the center, then PLWS will bring together. Okay, next. So I'm actually relating IR and productivity. Yeah, how is relationship? Next one, please. Sakina. Next slide. All right, next one. Okay, so you can see that productivity isn't anything, but in the long run, it's almost everything. Countries' ability to improve. So what I'm trying to say, how IR enhancing the industry harmony is through PLWS. That's what I believe, because PLWS actually is good for both parties, employees and employers. So when they are in place, in proper place, then it's same thing also minimum wage. I mean, we are waiting for a long time ago, but today we are adjusting the industry and the market force, everything with a very good tripartite discussion that we call IR. The real IR actually tripartite discussion. We got MPGN, Majlis Pendidikan Gaji Negara. We got Jawatan Kuasa Teknikal Gaji Negara. We all actually helping each other. The data and we propose all come from ourselves, but from industry, micro, and so on. Okay, next one, please, Sakina. All right. So what is the meaning? So we want a in a harmonious industrial, especially pandemic COVID-19. So we are still in the pandemic. We need a harmonic industry. We don't create a conflictual industry relation. You will affect the business, because business must go on. We need to know when business go on, you need to also close to the employee's heart, and also employees must close to the employer's heart. So when heart to heart we closer, like husband and wife, there is no conflict. The divorce always happen in husband and wife because they're not understanding each other. They don't want one overrule another one. But in the context of the IR, actually the theory is very applicable. Next one, please. Okay, so I'm not go through this, but you understand. So something like cooperative attitude and mutually beneficial. So in terms of output, performance, everybody want to go to work. But what is the meaning work for them? The work is really work. So today, like me, I'm today off. Actually Friday is off day. So I need to come to work, because I have the heart to work. I want to bring back the good thing for my student, for the university, for the industry, sharing knowledge. So I didn't put this, because I'm resting, I want to rest. No, that must change the mindset. So I believe the trade union out there, or the employees out there, please work together with the employer. The employer, of course, you to reward your people. When you reward the people, actually you reward the God. God created all of us for what? God want to manage. We manage the people. When people feel happy, they will loyal to you. There are many people loyal to you. They will work for you. They will listen to you. Sometimes I apply this in my class. I teach HR. What's the meaning? I teach HR. This theory I apply. I did a lot of things for them. We recently have a party, virtual party in the class. They cut the cake in their home. Their engagement keep on going, and some of them cry. Some of them feel happy. And so we end our class with the happiness and so on. So that's how the HR people must think in the workplace. Bring industrial harmony to the workplace. Next slide, please. All right, so we are coming to the point that what mean IR and competitive competition, because you have an industrial harmony, you have a very cooperative way, but you need to compensate the people. So when you make money, we make profit. Of course, everybody, the aim is to make profit. I can share one few studies here. Just example. Recently, my MBA student conduct a research the impact of COVID-19 on industrial relation and HR in some of the micro and SME companies. There's one of the companies that are related to auto industry, quite a big dealer for auto industry. So they are very well known in Malaysia. So this dealer, we conducted a research together with my student and also invite him. He's a Chinese owner. Essentially start from the father's business, and the father established this business. Finally, he's the CEO of the company. Then we look through it. Company mostly is Malay workers. All Malay workers, Malay marketing manager. Then I went there almost 8 years. I went to his shop to visit. I like to see the cars, and I go there and I see their face very smiling. Even the office boy come to me, salam, and say to me, even I'm outsiders, I'm a customer, they say like that. And then I saw this person, Mrs. Sunny Tan, is a CEO. Sunny, so nice, they can speak a dialect also, dialect. Very attachment, And then what is the good news? All the companies that we interview in Kelantan, none of them retrench people. That's a good story I would like to share to you all. So why? They say, why we need to sack people? We keep the people, actually. We keep them, but we very innovative to talk to them. And we have a what you call relationship with them. That's what the objective IR. They apply IR. They don't know about IR. Actually, they don't know IR, but they practice IR. So that's how the theory is very important. They are putting the pluralist approach in the context of the bring the together. So that's a study. We are planning to publish a book. If God's will, maybe next year we publish during the pandemic how this CEO, the business owner, treat the employees. So far in Kelantan, we never see any employers retrench people, and 100% is a local. That's a good story. I would like to. Why are we depending on the foreign workers? Why? You don't need. They are fully 100% local workers, and they're very happy. And Mr. Sunny created a cafe, also helping the micro industry inside the what they call inside the factory. I mean inside the dealership shop, and he's helping the kakak selling all the Kelantan food. You know what happened? Not only workers enjoy the food, but even people from outside come and eat. So the restaurant become very popularity. So in that context, I think he created a good industrial relation without knowing the basic theory of IR. But when I talked to him, he was so happy on that. Next, please. But of course, his composition is very important. So I'm not going to, I already informed you just on the case study. So competition is involve people, participation. That's what my PhD about. My doctorate actually talking about participation. I want people to participate in terms of employers matters. Employers is having problems. Share with your employees your problem, your thing. Share with them. Like husband share to the wife share to the husband. Sharing everything with them. Let them understand your problem. Don't keep yourself. And don't come up with some kind of complication strategy that you're going to do that. Don't check the people. See how they can work together. I think we went through the ASEAN crisis. Many companies saved their people's job. Okay, next one. Okay, so I think competitive very important. Wage must increase along the compensate with a higher increase in productivity. Of course, maybe the union employees say that they don't like their word productivity, but at the end of the day, they have to move from minimum wage to next level. How to move? They cannot stay just 1,200 forever. At the same time, employee also cannot sit and make them stay in the 1,200. So how you move on? Actually, PLWS can move them next level. So I'm very glad, to invite me to share this one, because this is what I'm proposing to the industry, not only in Malaysia, throughout the world, worldwide. And idea is accepted. Okay, next. Okay, so we need to know the recognizing the productivity, of course, the wages, productivity and performance, and then we know that we got the National Labour Advisory Council (NLC) already adopted wage reform, and then I think this is one of the systematic law. Actually, PLW systematic. It's still not a law; it's just guideline. But I believe some company already apply. I was last year. I was involved in the ministry, reward. Piala Sumber Manusia for the PLWS best company. We will go through the process of the evaluation and all that. Well, very interesting. Some company really put the effort. Small and the big company. When many companies don't know actually outside there whether PLWS is already exists as a guideline and so on. So that's why this kind of webinar where MPC promoting, in the same time we promoting best practices. And why I bring my student, they are the next leader. They are the one going to apply this knowledge in the workplace. So they should learn from now, not learning after the finishing degree. So they learn from now. They have to apply this kind of basic knowledge to the real practice. Next one. All right. So second one, put all the arrow. So what do you mean PLWS flexible wage system performance? So there's also another issue. Performance management system. We have performance management system, but we're not linked to the wages. I only upset. I see that many companies and also government sector also, you not linked to the performance base. So let's say you get a marks 90%. But I'd like to share with UMK a few years back. They don't compensate with the money, but they send the certificate. I was surprised. Suddenly I got a certificate from the VC saying that congratulations, you already achieved 90% of your performance. That's what we need. Sometimes we need money, sometimes we not non-monetary value. So PLWS, of course, also cover these two issues. So it's very good if you can, compensate with them some reward. They will stay with you. The most important, loyal, stay, and they truthfully work. No hanky-panky, integrity, governance. They come to work early in the morning. They feel that the companies belong to them. That is the HR must create that kind of thing. And honor of the company. You make money, you compensate the money to the employees. I'm sure that the God Almighty also bless your company. You believe that theory. The theory very clear. When you do good thing for people, and sometimes the Almighty God also bless your company. Your business will grow. That's what Mrs. Anita told me. I'm always nice to people. I never do any hanky-panky to them. I will pay. Even the company lost, we try to make them stay in the company. During the Asian crisis, we lost totally. Even only 1 or 2 units we got ordered at that time. But I never let go people. I say. So what do you mean that is guided by the philosophical of the religion, all these teaching and so on. So all religion, Islam, Buddhist, Christian, Hinduism, all these telling the good thing. No religion go and tell a very bad. You do the bad good thing for the people, and then things will come back. So you look at here, gain sharing, performance, and all this. So work hand by hand. We have to work both. And so that's why I always teach my students. If you go to the workplace, apply the IR theory. IR theory is very important for you to look at the both party. You advise the HR manager, HR the CEO. And thankful to God, most of the HR CEO of the company in India actually come from the background of the HR or IR background. So I'm very glad for that. And then I want to see in Malaysia also like that. So you mean we need to say HR, IR, very important, especially linked to the issue something like PLWS. Next, please. Okay, what is the challenges we face in PLWS? Next. Okay, firm adopting wait and see attitude. That's a problem with the employer side. Wait. When we're going to wait? Now pandemic 19. We cannot wait. We have to start thinking of a new approach. And that's one, I think the government ready to help all of you outside there. They also come out ESOP program, right? Like e-share organization. They already do some sexy like in the last slide I will show to you. It's a free of charge. You want to declare your company to be a better company, whether you have a best practices, IR, HR, they're doing a lot of good things, and it's a free of charge. Even this one also they are be freely to everyone. So I think don't wait and better take it, especially SME. We got 800 companies, so cannot be all the time depending on the government to subsidize. We have to be innovative. We need to nice to customer. I see a lot of cafe in Kelantan. They do so well. People keep on coming to the cafe. The price is so compatible. The environment very nice. So customer will come, and employee very nice to them, and the business grow. And they're opening up a lot of branches here. I know one of the coffee machine is run by our lecturers, senior lecturers, by themselves. They're opening up in KL, opening there, and here people go there because the environment they created like that. So the owner is actually also I'm indirectly advising them also. The owner listen to me. Then I keep on updating the knowledge and how the customer, when the customer coming, your money coming. But the moment you don't reward your people, and people will leave. That's very easy. Don't wait. Think about the outside the box. Next. Okay. Okay. Trust issue. I told you what. Even I said myself why I trust to the particular organization, and also why some company in Kelantan, the research show that they trust them because their trust issue very important. We have to trust each other. If there's no trust and no point, the whole life meaningless in our life. So when you become HR manager, when you become CEO, when you become owner, you always trust your people. When you trust the people, people trust on you, and that's how it's happening. But of course, the trust issue comes with a package, some kind of package like here we could talk PLWS. Tell them you productive, we will pay you, and you be happy, and you can spend the money to your family. You can improve your well-being of your life. You can buy a house, you can buy this, buy that. If you don't do that, just come and work, and how the company make money. So these are the basic theory that we put impacted in the IR theory. Yeah. So I think that's very important. Next. All right. Welfare should not be jeopardized. Yes. You look at the many Scandinavian countries, they are very highly unionized. From Sweden, I've been there many times. Sweden, Norway, Finland. I did research also in Europe under the fellowship. German. All these people are very high unionized firm, but they are never jeopardize their workers. Welfare is very important. I think some Scandinavian country, even the working hours go like 4 days only. So long hours working, short hour working is not the total objective, but how you produce your work. I told my student, don't work hard, work smart. Come up with the idea. Normally, I challenge them. Okay, for example, yesterday I asked my first year student, challenge him to come up with a minute of meeting. You do this because when you go to the company will relying on you. No, not the company will give you or clerical work. And he did, he come back and he showed me. I said, okay, you're done. Congratulations. All this. Okay, now I show you the real how to do minimum. So you learn from that. And a lot of students developing their skill. So I develop the skill. I challenge them. I bring them, I state, you do this, do that. So that's how HR must train the employees. Don't think employees all, like a degree older. Many of them, no degree, no education background, come from a different background, B40 background, family is not peaceful. They come to work and even the work not peaceful, the employer not rewarding. How they're feeling? They're feeling good, very bad, That's why a lot of people keep their heart, you talk, sharing the knowledge, create a venue for them. That's why NER, non-union representation, create a JCC, create something that they can voice up their issues and so on. But again, they voice out not, that's why I changed the word, don't fighting. There's no way union is fighting. Fighting word is no more already. Now partnership, work together, one spirit, one team, and we work for our country itself. Okay, next slide. Okay, very important, income stability. So that's one way a minimum wage was introduced, but minimum wage is minimum payment. We want to go beyond. So they have to stability. And today, the pandemic, we are looking at the stability of job and also the income. That is the most important. So the government tried to help, but one day government maybe stopped helping because they are also lacking of the money. But the money must spend out. So normally when the government pay the wage subsidy, please pay back to the employees. Don't issue on the governance, very important. Integrity, very important. In the money, if you pay for the employee, pay the employees. Same thing also PLWS. When you put like bonus, you pay that, you share your profit to them. I'm sure your company grow even faster, maybe 10 times faster than other. Even during pandemic, I can see many testimony. During pandemic, a lot of company actually growing very, very fast because of their heart to rewarding people. Next. Okay, fair. This is all the theory IR, equitable measurement of productivity performance. So the key issue that under the enhancing the industrial harmony, we put all these components and the company doing very better. And that's what show all my research in the last 20 years. I went to Shell in Holland. I did a Shell in Holland. I sit with the managers, all the top Shell bosses around the world, and they also talking about the work council, employees, IR, and so on. They said this is a mechanism we put. So that's why you can see like I've been met some of the owners, some of the the people dealers in Europe like Mercedes-Benz and BMW. You're very proud to drive Mercedes-Benz, but do you know that what is the cost of the company's survival long term? And they make a lot of money. Actually, employees, the trade union. They have a very strong trade union in the BMW and Germany, and they also got work council, no union, work council. The work council actually they are talking about performance, so that's why they can survive until now. We proud to drive a BMW, drive Mercedes, but do you know that the behind the story actually employee relationship very good, very cooperative, very highly. That's why they have survived. You can do that, you can survive, no problem. That's why they create a very high quality car. Who did the car? The employees, the engineers, the automation, all these people doing loyal to the company. They feel that proud. I am the Mercedes-Benz creator. So you drive. Why we feel the proud when I drive Mercedes-Benz, BMW, or Audi? Why you proud? Because the employee is the one proud to deal. Because they are rewarding very well. They reward very well. They are very high paid. Technician very high paid. All the technician in the auto industry in Europe, in other countries, very highly paid, even Korea and so on. But why we cannot do that? How? Think about outside box. Okay, that's very important. So actually, the key issue that rewarding the employee in terms monetary and non-monetary. Next one. Okay, so this is a new system. They already introduced already. They're doing very well. I think good congratulations to MPC and Ministry of Human Resource, and also congratulations many companies to adopt. And maybe some of you in this session, I believe you also like to apply in your organization. Next. Okay, so again, IR is a family closure relationship, and of course those company union, you need to have that kind of relationship. An employer must understand, trust the employer, and union employees must trust each other, and we will work on that. So maybe PLWS will be successful throughout this initiative, and I believe they're going to be very good for the companies, very good for the country, very good for employees. Even we create the graduate in the university also go on that market. They have to produce. They have to produce high. I always tell my students, don't go to company just for the clerical work. Don't wait. Your boss will advise you next to what to do. You need to come on your own. That's why I start with in the campus. I started a club. They call like Bursa Club. Bursa was established a CSR club. I run like company. I put them as a CEO. I call them run. So you create income. I challenge them. By the end of the year, you need to come up with 100,000 income for your club. They say, okay, Prof, we can go ahead. I say you buy everything through this, but with very highly integrity. And UMK is entrepreneurship university. I said you can do a lot of business as long as it's come under follow the legal framework and integrity and governance. You can do that. I said and challenge them, and they say we need to go. So that's how we think outside the box. So I think the industry outside that, please come and collaborative through the MPC. Through that, we also want to collaborate with MPC to enhance this industrial harmony at the workplace. So please welcome. I welcome all the industry out there to work with us. Then we see how we can bring our next Malaysia a prosperity nation. We want to be a better nation and equivalent to the other country like Korea, Japan, even China. Look at China. China start with a close relationship in the market and force. Now they are champion. Why we cannot do? And we got a lot of different kind of people in Malaysia. We got Kadazan, Iban, Chinese, Indian, Malays, and all of them one goal, one umbrella. That's a good. That's why I say family relationship. Next. Okay, next. Okay, so this is some feature. After I do some research, I found that I'm not talking to here also Malaysia. I was also talking to the India. I was talking to Morocco a few years back. I talked to the Indonesia and India also many times. I went there. So I always think that there will be new industrial relation will take place. One of the component is actually, you can see that there will be a lot of people will benefit, and one of them is actually under the 4.0 is actually PLWS. Next, please. Okay, now next. Okay. So I put the last one. Payment and salary are based on workers' productivity. Yes. So there will be a lot of things will happen. So next slide. Okay, now next slide. After the yes. Okay. Okay. Next one, please. No. Go to the last. No. Okay. 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 Next slide. After this slide. Okay. Next one. Next slide. All right. So I coming to the the recently MPC was launched. They call eShare Prosperity Organization eSPO Acknowledgement Certificate. This is a very good move in relation to my talk today. So I talk from the theoretical perspective, from practical perspective, from empirical perspective on the real story, but how to put in action. And that's what MPC come up with this promote industrial relation in the workplace. So they come up with this online acknowledgement certificate is all freely available, and I'm the one of the moderator to moderating the session. Is a free available. We're moderating, so I hope the company outside there please come and join us, and we go to do this testing. We call like pre-testing for like you bring some product, you go to the lab and pre-testing whether your product good or not. So we're going to you have all the best practices, especially you already imply or indirectly directly on PLWS already there, but we don't know whether you really put a practice. So that's why MPC come up with this, and they will come up with this eShare Prosperity Organization. It's very good for you to determine your company and a good benefit for that. Next slide, please. It just launched last year. All right, so basically you can see that eShare Prosperity Organization in relation to PLWS and enhanced industrial relation is an online platform that issue electronic acknowledgement certificate to the organization successfully implemented. Okay, so when you come to this program, we only about 2 hours, the program. So I will be moderating the one. You just answer about 20 questions only. That's all free available, and automatically certificate will produced by the system, and you keep the certificate because it's produced by MPC and also Ministry of Human Resources. So very important the one for you to show your company has the best practices or IR, because you can say I have a best practice IR. You can say, so when I do interview with throughout my research with my student, also myself, always employees say we have a very good harmony relationship here, and employees say no like that. So this is the one to testing your real testing. You answer the question, you know there's no cost, nothing, it's a zero. So it's a very freely the MPC try to help all the industry, especially micro and SME, and also open to the large company. So please come and join. Next, please. Next slide. Very simple, only 3, very simple. So what you do, you go answer short question. Before that, I will moderating. I will not only me, a few of us, MPC already. So we are, because we are expert in IR and HR. So we are you just moderating you what is a PLWS. I think you know already. Some of you know already. Second step, you do your get a self evaluation. Just now I said to you, you may say your company is the best practices all these, but in the end of the day, it's not true. So you're doing your own testing, own pre-testing, like the lab, and then the certificate will out and get printed. Why you need certificate? The certificate beneficial to you to keep that when you go like next competition, PLWS competition, or your employee feel very happy. Wow, this company very good, a very good platform, PLWS. So I want to like to work. So you create a harmonious trust, a loyalty, a commitment, and so on with the employees. Or employer will feel that wow, this is I want to have this certificate, and I put in the front of the people. So when investor will come, even customer will come, you put in front of like you got a restaurant or cafe, put in front of that you are ESP company certified. So and certified not an ordinary body by MITI and Ministry. So this is a very easy step you can get. Then you can see next one. You can see the okay, next one. This certificate. You see, you will come out immediately if you have. If you don't have, you can come back in 3 months and do one more testing. So maybe I believe all of you out there, you already have this practice. So please come to this program. We will invite you officially. You can come and you do online. No need to come to anywhere. Sit in your room, in a house, just for 2 hours only. You come and we brief, and all free. It's good for you as a training part. And then after that, you self-evaluation. When you got this one, you can put like MPC, under BC, and Ministry of Human Resources certified, and you keep in front of that. So your company will be valued by the investor, will valued by the customer, will valued by the employee itself. Employee feel proud, you feel proud. So when all these come together, I believe your company can go beyond the next level. You can open up a lot of branches. So I can see like medium size, micro size industry should come and support and implement this kind of program. And we're going to already started already. So I also invite all the company out there to participate. And student or wherever outside in the future, you also must learn that when you go to the any company that you have an eSPO, you must be very proud. And I believe everybody already practice this, PLWS. Only thing that you are not documented. You're not documented. Maybe after this you can improve your your system there, and then you come back again to get the certificate. So I think this is what the initiative by the government trying to help all these things. So we don't just talk, put in action. That's what I believe. I don't talk too much theoretically, but put in action. That's why you can see a lot of my PhD students come from industry based. They come from the practical and they come to university. They understand the theory, application, and go, and they can finish very fast. I got a student by age 64 years old. He's a minister, one of the key position, very busy. But he finishing PhD within 3 years. You know why he finished PhD years? Because he put all his experience into his PhD. He write about himself. So documented. I documented all this study to put for the next leaders, next HR people to refer back. Like example, I'm going to write a case study about COVID-19 in Kelantan. So I will put all the case study, and you can see how can Kelantan company never lay off people? How can Kelantan company keep people happy? How can this? How can the question will be answered through that? The same thing also that this program, I believe, very important for all of you, and I really hope that the one I share with you, I'm not actually I'm sharing with you. I'm not although I'm professor, but I also learn from you. You also my gurus. Even my student, I learn from my student also. A lot of things I learn from my student because they also got brilliant ideas. So humble myself learning. I also learn from industry. Like Mr. Chu was just now we talking. He was a very vast experience in as electronic engineers. I told him that, sir, can you come and share? We work together. So I learn from you because all of you is my guru. We all learn each other. That's what we have, this kind of humbleness, learning each other. I'm sure that your company will do well, MPC will do well, the government will do, and then again, finally, our graduate that going to be future leaders. You are the leaders of the nation. The thing in your hand, we all facilitate you. So what I believe that in this context, university work together with the MPC, with the government, with the industry outside there. You all is our friendship. We all in a big family. That's what IR is about. So HR must go with IR together. So those people don't have IR at the work. Please create IR and PLWS. Start thinking now. I'm sure that the Almighty God will bless all of us. So we love Malaysia. Malaysia is our country. We're born here. We need to be very, very loyal to our country, to our king, our everybody. We feel like Malaysia is a part of our life. Then you can see the good result will come out. With that, I think, Mr. Chu, I end my session here. I hope I already tried my best with my time, and I pass on to you, Mr. Chu.
Okay, thank you, Professor, that for a very interesting and enlightening presentation. You cover a lot of areas. So, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, if you have any questions, please key in, and then we can ask the professor. To get the thing started, Professor, I have a couple of questions I would like you to answer. Okay, now I think you touched briefly a little bit about the unitarist approach and moving towards a pluralist approach. How do you see in Malaysia with the new normal? How are the unions interacting with the employers? Do you see a move towards a more collaborative win-win outcome versus the us versus them adversarial relationship?
Okay, if Mr. Chu look at the model I propose, not I with Professor Sharma, but I already proposed a new model for Malaysian IR and also HR, actually IR, I propose that there will be time, what Professor Sharma saying that there will be cooperative relationship. And I believe that through the pandemic, we're looking forward the best approach, a pluralist approach, because we have a different mindset, different thing. Of course, union now must change. I think one of my students doing research on the public sector union, and we talk to them, they what the word come out, fighting. I said, please change your word, fighting, not fighting, collaborative. Okay, and then found that they are don't have any single knowledge on IR. So that's a problem with I think our union leaders. So I really want union leaders to have basic knowledge IR, and I think I'm also proposing that so that they have a better understanding of what is IR. And today our study, we done a very extensive study on the partnership. So I can see that post Malaysia have the very good partnership between union and management, because in the union institute we have one practice of collective bargaining. I think you know that collective bargaining. Collective bargaining is a more on signed agreement within 3 years about a job, welfare and wages and so on. But the other thing that they already created ACC, Joint Consultation Committee, by voluntarily based. Post created that, and any issues like layoff, like issue transferability of the company, close down the company, they brought this issue to the JCC. And you know the good thing about that, Mr. Chu, the CEO come to chair the meeting. You know, are you believe or not? I say in my own eye, in my doctorate, you can get my book and you can read post Malaysia case study. I wrote a very extensive study on that. The CEO come and chair the meeting, and the seven union leaders from Sabah, Sarawak, and sitting there. And the good thing that they're giving full time for the union to run the matters of the union for the employees. They don't have any conflict between them. And today you can see that, you know, they already taken by the DRB company totally, but still you can see there's no conflict, there's no strike, there's no layoff happening. So I believe today, I think I talked to the many union, even MPC also lies with me in the last few years. I believe they are also changing their mindset. So I also saw some case study happening in the workplace. The union is sitting there and talk to them, because in the end of the day, Mr. Chu, job security number one. All right. Then next we go to PLWS, and after that you can see that. So today, if the union still go the old patient that what Professor Sharma, Professor Alan Fox, Professor Martinton, all these people saying that there will be conflict always happen, but when the conflict happen, there is a solution for that. So don't stay in the conflict, but come up with a solution. The solution is industrial harmony, and we must protect the company and protect the employees. So that's what the pandemic actually teaches. So I'm seeing that is already on that platform now, going for that.
Okay, thank you, Professor. As a follow-up questions, we talked quite a bit on the PLWS, the productivity linkage system. One of the key components for that to work is for employers to be willing to share a lot of the financial data, the P&L data, and so on. But I think many employers are reluctant for two reasons. One is that they are afraid that it will enable the trade union to demand more, okay, of the employers in terms of the profit sharing. And secondly, the employees are also afraid that the financial data be leaked to their competitors. What's your view on that?
Okay, that's a good question. This one, actually, this is also one of my struggle also to proposing this. So in year 2001, I went to Europe to do my study in research lab. Okay, in the European context, they have a law, that information sharing, okay, competition sharing is come under employee participation. So there's a wage council. We call wage council is actually represented by employers and the employees sitting there. As well as you, there will be a committee to discuss. So what happened, because they got the legal law directive clearly in that particular countries, so they share the knowledge, no problem. Share actually sharing a lot of data to them, whereas the share in Malaysia doesn't want to share because they follow the law. So sharing certain knowledge, yes, maybe very limitation. Maybe of course you said maybe some data very confidential, but the thing that they can share the profit. And they can share the profit in different ways, like what in the company in the PLWS. like paying like bonus, buy any, all this. So if you don't share, how the company will understand? How the employee understand? How do you want to know what status is going on? So I got 2 case study, Mr. Chu, in my PhD. I already also published in there as a book. There's one company, Steelco in Klang. Steelco at that time, they have a strong union, and the employer actually come and share everything to them. Okay, like this, we're going to cut your pay, we're going to cut bonus, time, everything. Are you okay or not? They say okay, fine. But it's only temporarily. They say when we merge with the big company, we'll make sure that we don't lay off you. So I think sharing information is very critical now. Otherwise, how the employee to develop a trust, how the employee want to loyal to that. So employer, especially from Asian perspective, we should learn on this also, because especially from Malaysia, time for us to change our mindset. Don't be afraid, nothing will happen. Because in the end of the day, if you have a strong relationship between union and employees in your workplace, the trust already developed strongly. I don't so they go to lead. Like example, our family matters, just you. Do you think your family matter, you're going to tell everybody? No, you won't tell everything. You keep yourself. Within the family, you got a lot of conflict going on between brothers, sisters, everything. But do you go and share with others? No, you won't share, because this is your family matters. So you have to develop that kind of environment and create that kind of environment. I'm thinking so. Why not be sharing the thing? I always even tell my university, you share the thing to others. So that I think I see that is developing now in especially for performance appraisal. Mr. Chu, recently we developed very clear performance appraisal can measurable by quantitative and qualitative. So I'm very happy. Yesterday we have engagement with all the employees. We know how to be professor, how to be associate professor. Everybody knows the data very clearly. Then we work on that. So it tells go back company. If the company doesn't tell the truth, how the employee will be working for that particular company? Surely they feel that, oh, I need to move another. So you look at the big companies like Microsoft, Toyota, BMW, all these, they are sharing knowledge. So you can see very classical example, BM, Audi. You feel proud to drive the car, but do you know the secret behind? They are actually sharing the information to the employees. So that's, I think, I want to see the next move in the company, so that whatever we do, we need to trust each other. Otherwise, like you and me, Mr. Stew, we trust each other. That's why we can discuss a lot of issues. If I don't trust, why I come and share this one? Because I feel like it's my own data. I keep it myself. No, I'm sharing. As long as it didn't go and go on this philosophical example, religion, race, and sometimes people in social media just say about race. Oh, we cannot say like that. You cannot do all this, because this is under the law of the country. Okay, but the good thing you can share. It's no problem. So that's, I believe, on my on my philosophical.
Good, thanks, Professor. Sakina, I see that there's someone want to ask a question.
Yes. Got question.
Yeah. So can you unmute the person and then let him speak? I couldn't see his name. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm mute Tosu Pat. So calling for Tosu Pat to ask your question for your raise hand. Hello.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. This is regarding just a comment about the question what was discussed just now about sharing company profits. It's not a question, but just a comment on it. You see, if it's a PLC, it has got to do its filings to the Bursa. Its annual reports are available publicly. So it's no secret. If the company, there's no question of the company not sharing its profits with the employees. Now, if it is the company is a small company and is not obliged to follow filing its accounts, financial reports, the company is in control of their accounts. How much information, as Prof. Bala says, how much information they want to share is up to them, how much they want to share. In times of profit, if they don't want to share their profits, then what about in times of loss? How are they going to tell the employees that, look, we are suffering a loss. The employees, like Prof. Bala says, I'm not going to believe you. Now you're coming to tell me you're suffering a loss. But what about the times when you're making profits? You're not sharing your information with us. So come on, let's be transparent about this. Build, like Prof. Bala says, build transparency, build trust. We should encourage the companies, whatever size they are, to share their financial. I am a proponent of PLWS. I like PLWS a lot. In most of my trainings, wherever I go, I also share. I also encourage companies to do implement PLWS. Like Prof. Bala said, most probably they are already doing it. Only thing that they do not know that they are doing it. Yeah. So that's just my sharing. I think we should go out there and change their mindsets, share your profits, and go on a collaborative approach. And it's not a you against me sort of a thing, like the union. I mean, what I'm saying, like Prof. Bala say, it's not you against me. Let's work together. If we are making a loss, fine, let's work towards it so that next year we make a profit. Thank you very much.
Professor, would you like to comment on that? Thank you for that question.
Yeah, I think I don't know his name. Can I have your name, please? It's okay. All right. Yeah. I think.
Mr. To Siu Pat.
What's that?
Mr. To Siu Pat.
Oh, Mr. To, yeah, good friend. Okay, Mr. To, how are you, sir?
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
all these our guru. All right. I believe I agree, totally agree with you. I think, Mr. To, I think we are in the process of changing the mindset. I believe the pandemic already giving a lot of theory that developed the past. It start like accelerated, It start like understanding people. I think Malaysian actually one of the best employees in the world, and also employers, I believe that they have this kind of heart, they don't go like, they keep everything in their heart. Don't against, like you see, we don't see a lot of strike, happening. But the thing like this, how long they're going to be like this? Okay, it is time for us to think. That's why the pandemic is a starting point to relook our policy. In fact, I keep on telling you, even the government policy must be flexible to address the issue on industrial relation and also HR policy, because we need to understand, if you want to do something like what Europe, they have directive, directive of information sharing. So whether you suffer, you loss, or you make profit, share with the people. And I believe when you share something, like me, I'm sharing to my student everything. I share. In fact, Mr. To, what I did, Mr. Chu, I got my car, the big car, a luxurious car, I drive. You know what I did? I called my student, hey, guy, come in. But I feel like so scared, Prof, hey, how can? Hey, no, you come, sit down with me. Okay, we have coffee. Let's go to. So, the feeling is there. And then I reward them. Those leaders, I reward them. Come, we go to KFC and all this. I start doing this in the campus. When they go out, I can see all my students, they're trying to do the same thing, So I believe that there will be mindset changing. So the leaders in the country must change first. We are leader, not as like CEO must go down and talk to the people. And it's happening in many European countries, even India, they're changing now. So I believe that HR is a key person in the industry. The HR people actually advising the union, advising the employees, advising the CEO. The CEO only come to you. Okay, sir, what to do? So when you recruit people, go through all this process. You see the people, the eyes, contact, everything. You know the people, whether they are loyal. Example, Mr. Teo, I'll give one example, Mr. Chu. I appointed one guy, one student walking through the campus. Because now pandemic and they're all in the home. This is a Malay boy, just passing through, And then I call him, hey, come. Wow, you're so proud of Professor. Then come my office, we discussed that, and then I said, you take photo and everything. And next day I said, hey, I'm looking for the leader to lead my club. Can you be a club? And he said, no, sir, I'm very, very grateful. And then I asked him, hey, sir, I'm also playing a share market with the Bursa. Oh, that's very good. Come. And then, I giving empower to him. You know what happened, Mr. Chu? Recently, yesterday, he went for the MPP. MPP? We call Majelis Perwakilan Pelajar. That means he's going to represent the whole community of the employees, of the students, in the campus, very powerful organization. You know what happened? He win the highest numbers. Then he come back humbly told me, Prof, what you have trained me within 2 months, I already done. So you can see, this kind of leader, if you go to the company, they're going to be welfare, employee pro, and I'm sure he's going to that because he's already leader. He's going to be there. So these are the things that we have to train them. So even I'm professor, I can be CEO, I can be a friend. I have to go to my people. Why not you share your knowledge? Why not the CEO go and have coffee with a security guard? Is it cannot? And why? What's the big deal? I believe Mr. To all done this for last 20 years, you know. So that's why I'm keep on telling you guys must come and help the young leaders for the need. Mr. Chu, that's my comment.
Okay, thank you. So thank you.
Prof, ada one question before we go for another raised hand. I read for you. Good morning, Prof and Mr. Chiu. My name is Muhammad Nur Hadi bin Abbas, MBA student from UMK. I have a question to ask Prof. In the current situation, many companies are facing challenge due to COVID-19 and financially not performing well. Because of the situation, also company cannot achieve the target set by company even though they already work hard. Should the company give the rewards to the employee for the effort? How to apply the PLWS for this situation? Thanks to MPC and Prof for this session is beneficial for me as student and practitioner. That's the question, Prof. The company give the rewards to the employee for the effort and how to apply the PLWS for this situation.
Okay, Mr. Chu, can I answer? Chu?
Yeah, okay. You answer, Professor. You answer.
Okay. So Adi, good morning, Adi. Adi is my MBA student. He's working in one of the healthcare industry in Kelantan branch. So one of the biggest company lah. So thank you, Adi. You take your time and okay. Currently they are doing on a final assessment now. But okay, Adi, I like to address to your question. Okay, PLWS. Remember, it's not only short term. PLWS long term plan by MPC and HR. So don't think that it's a short term process. It's a long term process. It can go years to come. But PLWS, remember also, apart from of course we talk about monetary value. If like what Mr. just now one of the audience asked question. In terms of monetary and non-monetary, but you can reward them in non-monetary values because PLW also have non-monetary things like rewarding them. Like simple rewarding. You can give some certificate of appreciation, or you can put some effort. Like treat them some kind of treatment for them, and of course tell them, sharing them. Today we are our profit. So tell the truth. Very important truth lah. Truthful heart lah. Okay. You talk integrity. What do you mean integrity? Integrity is not by word. Integrity means tell the truth to them. I'm sure this employee will understand your problem. So maybe this year you can't pay the bonus. Maybe you can tell them, okay, maybe next year all of us work together. I think even in pandemic, employee can be very creative enough, to selling. Especially you look at the food industry, hotels, and so on. They are very creative to do that. I see a lot of countries in Indonesia and some other countries from the other like Japan, Korea. They are very creative. So remuneration system can be two monetary and non-monetary values. For short term during pandemic, yes, we can flexible on the HR, but you have to tell them. Don't keep yourself. You don't pay the bonus. Why? Tell them. The reason must be there. Don't keep yourself quietly. Oh no, we're not making money. How true it is? Okay, surely the employees also understand. They also know that you are telling this because this is company belong to you, belong also to them. Because when you work in a company, when you sign agreement, the first day you sign agreement contract, you belong to them. So you belong to them. What do you mean they belong to them? You have to fulfill their rules and regulation and so on. And at the same time, if along the way, you're making money, you're making loss, you reward them in different ways. I believe on that. So whether pandemic, not pandemic, my class keep on going. I do my business. I treat you all very well. I think you all know my MBA student. I brought a lot of speakers, Mr. Chu. I brought about 6 people in the class where they all come, they voluntarily based. None of them ask money, Mr. Chu, because of why they want to share. So in the future, like you, Mr. To, all of you in my platform, because you need to engage them with them. I believe they will learn a lot of things. So PLW is long-term planning, and it will go on and on. It's not stop there. So Adi, I think your company already have these PLWS practices. Remuneration must be there in place in your policy and so on. But if we can't pay the bonus, you have other way to do that. So that is your creativity. Your HR people must be very creative. So that's my response to you.
Thank you, Prof. I see that we have 2 or 3 other raised hands. Let me direct the next one to Selva. Would you like to ask the question to Professor?
Mr. Selva, are you there?
I think we'll come back to Selva afterwards, maybe as walk up his desk. Let's get to the next one. Is that Rahayu Abdul Rahman?
Miss Rahayu, are you there?
And the last one is Azmira Khatun.
Also not there.
For the way they feel like to us. This is what you call. But I can put a chat box also if you shy.
So I think it's
I think one last question for Prof. I will read for you.
Okay. Can.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm Prof. Bala student Sarah. As mentioned in webinar, the company must be transparent regarding its growth towards employees, but it is possible to enacted as a rule for all the private sector, as all employees can share the profits and loss of the business equally with the employer. There's a question, Prof. As all employees
Thank you.
can share the profit and loss of the business. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah is so one of the second year student taking HR, but I think they all have a very what we call aggressive to go on a human resource. Okay. To answer your question, as I said to you, minimum wage. Minimum wage actually many countries already apply in the terms of the labor law. They put labor law. Many countries do. Many countries do, except Malaysia didn't ratify the minimum wage ratification, ILO ratification. When ILO look at they look at the labor policy and so on. So one way to ratify, actually also good for the investor to come to the country. It take long time process, not one day, long time. I think PLWS, as far as I know, Mr. Sugu is also my good friend, and he is one of the guru also in the MPC, and now he's a director for that particular department. I think they done about 20 years back. I think they've done the job, good job. But so imagine suddenly the government put in the great policy they call prosperity, prosperity vision 2030, beyond the vision 20. So you see that. So when we start doing things, people will change. All right. So your question can be a law or directive. It will happen eventually. But what is our role? What are we supposed to do now? What is our role as a government entity? What is our role as a university entity? What is our role with the industry community? What we done? So far, nothing. We don't engage this. So when I started in UMS IR program, minimum wage actually part of our when I come back from United Kingdom, I saw minimum wage one of the important issues in United Kingdom and one of the main agenda in putting in the labor policy in United Kingdom. And I found that they all have a mutual trust each other, with the employer and trade union. So when I started this 1996, I think, Mr. Chu, 97, we do a lot of collaboration between MTUC in Sabah, Sabah Union, Miss Margaret, the Bainik woman, they all Sabah, and also Jabatan Tenaga Kerja GTK, also all my good friends. Last time they were university mate, like in Kamal, Tuan Kamal is DG for Training Act is my classmate also. So these people all there. So then we brought inside, and they're run by the student university, not me, and they brought RTM also. And the university doesn't have any question about trade union coming to the campus. There's no question. And through this engagement, the press highlighted everything. And finally, we found there's an initiative from the government. We're going to do a law from the former Prime Minister who started this, and also former Minister of Human Resources. So it come to picture, and suddenly I was invited to be in the, I'm from Sabah, very far away from Putrajaya, but people looking at the Sabah as a Kota Kinabalu as a place, and then I was invited to be there in the committee, and I really pleased, because I come in my heart to help people. That's all. I'm not coming, in the beginning, I pay my own money, I never claim any single cent. I fly from Kota Kinabalu to KL for several, me and Dr. Nurani from UITM Sarawak, Mr. Chu, no even single cent claim, over 10,000. You do that? Because we don't have proper committee there. We don't have proper organization like we have MPGN. And now we claim all, but those say no. We come only one heart. And that time, Mr. Chu, I remember first day of the discussion of minimum wage, all the employees back off, all come up with the room. Then I go back to theory, wow, that higher theory is like life, unitarianism, pluralism. So already get back off. And, because a good IR system, we have harmonies, mutual understanding, they come back again. And to a very proper organization, institution. So, Sarah, it can happen. So our job is actually what we do in the university. We bring all people on the board. We do a lot of activities. Don't ask money, please. Don't ask anybody. We come and like webinar like this, we share it. That's why I'm very grateful to MPC giving this chance, because this is what I'm proclaimed to our country. Okay, everybody has to help. Even you also coming. Everybody has to help. So I believe it can be long, but take time. Okay, maybe we start from the just guideline first. PLWS become the guideline, and maybe later part, many employees will be willing to accept. And now they know, because we already have a PLWS company, best companies in the Ministry of Human Resources. They are working also. So maybe all the cases we recorded and publish us, or maybe we call them to discuss about it. And I'm willing to do that with you. I'm willing to do in UMK. I'm willing to support all of you to come and share with students, because they are the leaders of PLWS, people to promote in the workplace. Okay, that's all, Mr. I pass to you.
Okay, thank you, Professor. So I think we are coming towards the end of our webinar. So thank you, Professor, for sharing. I think you give a lot of insight, and obviously you come across as somebody who's very passionate about your field. You contribute a lot, like you said, even out of your own pocket, flying to KL for meetings or Sabah for meetings. So I think that's quite inspirational to people. And I think a recurring theme, I think for employees to work together, I think the key message is that trust building must be there, okay, and it takes two to tango, right? Two hands to make a sound. So with that, I'd like to thank Professor for today's meeting, and also thank to the audience who have come up with some good questions for Professor that all of us can benefit. And also would like to thank the MPC Secretariat, especially Puan Sakina, who helped to do a lot of background orchestration on the logistics. So with that, I would like to wish everybody a very happy upcoming weekend. Stay safe, okay, and make sure we maintain social distancing and wear our masks. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, bye.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you very much.